O Brahman, lead us in your path. O Brahman, O the limitless, O the boundless, O the eternity, lead us in the path which has no fear in us. O Brahman, O Brahman, lead us in the path which has no fear in us. O Brahman, O the limitless, O the boundless, lead us in the path which has no doubt in ourselves. Lead us in the path which has no duality in us. O Brahman, lead us in the path which has no friction in us. When you are breathing in the state of meditation, when you are breathing in the state of meditation, just make sure that your breathing is extremely smooth. Okay? When you, no matter what the thought is, no matter what the content of the thought is, no matter what the thought is, and no matter what the content of the thought is, it doesn't matter what thought is made out of. It doesn't matter. The illusion doesn't matter. Mind is trying to use the memory and trying to create imagination. This is how things are. I keep telling you in a lot of retreats. Remember, this is not how things are. Mind does not have no experience. Mind is the slave for demons and devils. Remember, the mind of humanity is very fertile. The one who is spiritually weak. I don't care if you are physically weak or any of those things. One must. I'm not saying that you should be physically weak. That's not what I'm saying. You must be spiritually strong. Must, I'm saying. If you want to survive in this three-dimensional reality happily, you must be equipped with the right tools, as the title of this message, as the title of this retreat and video, these words of truth and wisdom. You must be equipped with the right tools. If you close your eyes, you understand. If you close your eyes and you try to if you close your eyes and put a band on your eyes, not that it is happening, it's an example to make you understand. Hypothetically, if you close your eyes and put a band around your eyes and try to take a walk from point A to point B, or try to cross the street, you may be succeeded one time. I'm not denying the one-time possibility, but if you try, if you try twice, or you try 3 times, the third time you may get hurt, or we may get hurt. It's an example. You understand? So it is not gonna lead you. One time you maybe succeed. One time you maybe succeed. 2 times there is a possibility that you maybe succeed. But if you try it over and over, you would get hurt. It's a guarantee. You see, what is the point I'm trying to make here? What is the point of this example? What is the point of the scenario that I just gave you, basically? The point the point I'm trying to make here, the reason I gave you this scenario and the reason I gave you this example is you cannot walk blindly on this road. As Rumi said, this is your road and your road alone. Others can walk with you, but nobody can walk it for you. They would come around, they would join you in the walk, they would even try to lift you if you are tired, but they cannot walk it for you. It's your accumulation which has to walk on the road. So it's your road and your road solely, you understand? Now, next thing is when you are walking on this road, when you are experiencing this three-dimensional reality, which is a very narrow band, please keep in mind one thing. Please keep in mind one thing which is very important, that you cannot walk happily on this road without clarity. If you want, it's not about the destination. I mentioned that before. It's about the journey. Everything is in the journey because there is no destination. It's a limitless sea. It has no boundaries. It's a limitless sea of learning. However, once you have learned all your lessons, then you become the part of the light and samsara is gone. Now it is on you whether you want to volunteer to come to this planet out of compassion because of the misery of humankind. For the most part, unfortunately, for the most part, human is suffering. That's a given. For the most part, human is suffering on the face of this planet. So if you wanted to come out of compassion, it's your choice. But now you have become the part of the light. Before you were not the part of the light. So you had to go in the circle of birth and bodily demise, samsara. You see, samsara generates the three-dimensional experience because there was karma attached. Now all the karma is gone, the samsara is gone. When the samsara is gone, you become the part of the light, then it's on you. There were numerous figures before me that they had shed their karma. They were transcended people, you see, but they came here out of compassion, you see, but you would be free from the cycle of birth and bodily demise, mind you. So as you see the words written here on the title, equipped with the right tools, if you want to walk on this road, if you want to walk on this journey, then you must be. I'm saying it must. If you want to walk on this road and if you want to walk on this journey, you must be equipped with the right tools. That's why you see the title of this video, equipped with the right tools, because without right tools, there is nothing but misery, timely happiness, constipated happiness. You feel a burden every time you are in your senses. You feel a burden, but then you create no friction in your breathing. That's the gist of meditation. You must learn to do that there is no friction in your breathing. When you are breathing in and you are breathing out, remember I told you it's you who is going in and it's you who is coming out. So the fluency of you going in and the fluency of you coming out must remain smooth. I'm even using must as an intensifier. So it must basically remain very fluent, very smooth. You see, you do not deal with more than one thought at a time. If you are in a profession, if you are on a job, if you are if you are in a profession and you have to multitask, you multitask because you gotta earn the living. Remember, earning the living has become such a big deal, and a bug can earn a living. Anyway, so you need to earn the living, you multitask, but when you are by yourself in the state of meditation, or you are sitting in a super silent corner in seclusion, then you do not multitask. You entertain one thought at a time, and it's not necessary even to keep the thought all the time. This is all wisdom that, and the tools basically that would lead you to happiness ultimately. It brought tons of happiness. And then I even transcended happiness. If you see, it it brought tons of happiness, and I even transcended happiness. And I achieved a level of fulfillment. I achieved a level of feeling content when there is no friction in my breathing, when there is no tension, when there is no friction in my breathing, when there is no tension is my breathing. That can only happen, otherwise we feel suffocated on times, if you understand. Otherwise we feel suffocated on times, that we are suffocating. Our heart feels heavy. Have not you noticed that? When you are stressed, when you are entertaining more than one thought within you, the feelings are very uncomfortable. You want to get rid of this feeling ASAP. And when people are not equipped with the right tools, they try to look for that kind of light, and they try to numb basically the brain. They try to numb the brain so they wouldn't be able, so they can avoid what's happening. They can avoid karma. Karma cannot be avoided. So what they do basically, they get high on substances, they get high on alcohol and different stuffs like that. That's the extent. But this is not a remedy. It's like putting a band-aid. Have you ever put a band-aid? I'm sure you have. So it's like putting a band-aid on a wound or a scratch or a cut. But you are not healing the wound itself from within. So it wouldn't go anywhere. It would just keep coming back, the karma, the karma. So the only way you can transcend that heaviness, that heavy feeling on your heart. Remember, heart is the seat of the soul. Remember that heart is where soul sits. You understand? Heart is where soul sits. And your heart basically, sadly, is burdened because the fluency of the breathing in and breathing out is suffocated. It can only be light and no suffocation when you do meditation. That's it. And when you do meditation, every breathing you are going in, you must have the awareness in your mind, not that you are verbalizing through your pretty lips. You see what I'm saying to you? Not that you are verbalizing through your pretty lips, but you have the awareness. Every breathing in, I'm going in. It's me, I'm going in. Every breathing out, I am going out. You must have the awareness. Only this fundamental practice, only this simple practice, which does not even require any help from outside or from anybody. Only if you do it regularly for a few minutes, or for a few minutes or for some time, you would gain a lot of strength, you see. And where are you getting strength from? You are getting strength from within, basically. Remember, I keep mentioning in one of my last these are all my last retreats. So I keep mentioning that it within, inwards is the only way out. So what I'm saying, do not try to walk blindly on this road. You see, otherwise you would remain unaware of your otherwise you would remain unaware of your potency, if you understand. Do not try to walk blindly on this road, otherwise you would remain unaware of your capabilities. Otherwise, you would remain unaware of your potency, what you are capable of. Being human is an immense possibility. Being human means is potent, even though the word human itself is a human construct. Let's have that awareness too. But for in this moment in time to make you comprehend, let's say, being human is an immense possibility. It's an immense potency, being human, if you understand. So, being human is not a curse, it's a gift, and use that gift. The only way you would use that gift when you do not walk blindly to cross the street or on the road, when you are equipped with the right tools, when you have the transparency of things as how things are happening, but not what you think is happening. There is a huge distinction. You see, there is a huge distinction between what you think is happening and what is really happening. When you get to the point, from the point, what you think is happening, from the point what you from the point what you think is happening, from that point to the point how things really are. You see, from the point what you think is happening to the point that how things really are, you have taken charge. You have taken charge of your mind at least 60 to 65%. Please remember that. If you have covered that distance, you see, and once it becomes the part of your tendency, once it becomes the part of you, there is no way that it would go away, which is a great news. It cannot go away. You see, if you have transcended yourself, that what you think is happening to the point how things are really happening, meaning the transparency of things, you have transcended your mind 60 to 65%. That's what I'm saying to you. So be equipped with the right tools, be equipped with the right, take right type of actions to make this journey the most pleasant journey of all times. Do not walk blindly, do not cross the street blindly, but with open eyes, with clarity, with sight, that how things really are happening. And then when you realize that how things really are happening, your life becomes extremely lighter. I have mentioned that numerous times. You don't even realize that you are putting any efforts and everything is falling together in your favor. It's not that everything is falling together. That's another clarity. It's not that everything is falling together in your favor. It's basically you have learned to go in accord with life. Before you were in the conflict. You see what I'm saying to you? Before you were in the conflict, before mind pulled you towards the objects, before mind pulls you towards the being, before mind pulls you towards the objects, mind pulls you towards the being, mind pulls you towards the unnecessary thoughts, useless thoughts. Mind pulls you to make sense out of things for no reason. Before it was that, so you were so occupied psychologically on a very fundamental level, which is the three-dimensional reality most of humans are living in, you see. But now all this is gone. Now mind has no power. Mind would try one time. You don't bring your awareness no matter how severe that is. You trust yourself. If a situation is severe, you would know without even thinking. But you do not trust yourself. All I learned in these 43 years of my life that I have lived on this planet, all I learned, the gist of the mysticism, the the gist of the mysticism, the gist of the wisdom, being trained by rishis, being trained by wise people, being trained by sannyasis and the yogis and the meditator. All I learned in this 43 years, the gist of mysticism that I practiced for the most part of my life. And Hinduism, I came to realize one bottom line. The bottom line is trust yourself, do not trust your mind. Once you are, once you are in the charge that you only trust yourself, you would know if a situation arises which is threatening you. You would know without thinking. You don't need a cheddar box or be on a defensive mode. I hope you understand what I'm saying. All the time. You don't have to be uptight all the time. You understand that much. Do not forget to pay attention to pay gratitude to water. 72 to 76% of your accumulation is water. 72 to 76% of your accumulation, what you understand your body is the water. Basically, this water supports you so much. Do not forget to pay gratitude and pay thanks to water. Water is very, very significant for you. You see, and the gratitude to water is also extremely significant. Both are. So don't forget, every meditation when you make time for yourself, which you will. If you have not done so, then get it going basically already. Let's see what else comes to me. In the meantime, let's meditate. Silence the mind, silence. Not only silence around, but silence within. Then and only then you can understand truly the words of truth and wisdom. Then and only then you can take the initiative. Then and only then you can take the initiative to transcend your karma and transcend your mind. It's the mind basically which is the biggest catalyst. You heard the term catalyst. I'm sure that you know the meanings of it. It's the it's the mind basically which is the mind basically which is a prominent, very prominent catalyst. You see, you know the meanings of catalyst. I'm sure you do. If you do not, type in the word, which is a prominent catalyst in the human misery. You see, prominent catalyst. It's that mind is that curiosity. Excuse me. Mind is that curiosity of that Adam who couldn't keep his curiosity inside. It says in that fictional book Bible, if you understand. You see. Mind is basically mind is that curiosity of Adam that Adam basically couldn't keep in. Adam couldn't contain it within. You see, it's the story in the fictional book Bible, but it's a beautiful story. This story is all about symbology, trying to make you understand a real truth, trying to make you understand truth, trying to make you understand something with symbology and stories, because apparently you humans love stories a lot. That's what I have seen. So apparently you humans love to hear stories. Somebody sits and tells you stories all the time and you would listen to it very what the word I'm looking for in English, very intently, you would listen to it. You see, but when it comes down on practical, that's why we human talk so much. That's why we human gossip so much. You see, it's nothing but conditioning. Uncondition yourself from detrimental traits that you have developed in you. You see, do practical. Do not talk, just do not listen the retweets, the messages, the YouTube videos, the Facebook memes and all that. Do practical. So what I was telling you, Adam, mind, which is an abstract reality, has nothing to do with divinity, even though it exists in divinity. It's a mode of divinity, but it creates abstract reality. This reality started when Adam couldn't keep his curiosity within himself. He just had to eat the apple. Basically, he didn't eat the apple. It looks like that he ate the entire tree. The way the mind goes of humanity, the way the mind goes of humanity, it looks like that he just did not eat the one apple. He ate the entire tree. That's why I see so many That's why I see so many confused humans around me. Humans barely know what they want and when they want it. You know that? They don't know that. They are so preoccupied. You go and you try to start a conversation with them, and they would say, "Not now, I am busy." No, you are not busy, you are preoccupied. That's all you are. That's why your happiness has become so constipated, unfortunately. So since Adam, basically, not to bend or to deviate from this message from divine and sacred, because my time is getting precious and precious, you see. So this abstract mind started when Adam ate the apple from the tree of knowledge, you see. Then the creation started. Somebody who was Adam, basically somebody who was Adam started somebody who was Adam caused something. The entire universe, the entire creation, by the way, the entire creation in the universe is nothing, basically. Universe is a sense of being aware. That's all universe is. You understand? Universe is nothing. Universe is nothingness. Universe is just a sense of being aware. Of course, a sense is everywhere and nowhere. So universe is nothingness. It's just a sense of being aware. So when in that awareness, a tiny point of that awareness started a cause, and the entire creation started as a result of its effect. So as long as there is cause, there would remain the effect, which is karma. Cause and its effect, karma, you see. So as long as there remains the cause, there would remain the effect, you see. And the only way you can take charge of this process, otherwise it would keep going and going with no end. The only way you can take charge of this process is to transcend the mind. Once you transcend the mind, the game is over and you are in bliss all the time. As Lord Buddha Gautama, my Lord Buddha, my Lord Gautama, Siddhartha said, the Nirvana, you see, the state of nirvana, the part of the light. Light is not God, light is not source. Light is not God, light is not source. Light is the first manifestation of the source. You see, light is the effect of the cause, is the first manifestation of the source. Source is nothing. Source is total blankness. Source is total darkness. Source is nothingness, you see. So all this is very significant for you to understand. And everything comes down to practical. I can sit here and tell you stories like that 24/7, you see, but for one, I have been solely, I have retrieved, I am withdrawing from everything, you see. So I cannot do that. But here are the words that I speak to you. Here are the words that Here are the words that I speak to you to bring clarity in your perception. These words. Anytime you feel overwhelmed while I'm gone, you see, I am going. Anytime while I am gone, I am not among human, I am not among creation. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, you see, with the reality, with this three-dimensional reality, which is a very narrow band, you rewatch the videos, you listen to my words of truth and wisdom. But remember, no matter how many times you listen, no matter how many times you repeat the same video, no matter how many times you listen to the words of truth and wisdom, it would have zero impact if you are not doing practical. Practical is the only way. You see, if you want to see the effect, you need to cause it. It always does not necessarily mean in negative sense, if you understand. It always does not necessarily mean in negative sense. It also means that if you want to make the change, you need to put efforts. Basically, this is the time to be happy is now. If you want to make the change, you need to put efforts. When is the time? There is no good enough time to do the right thing. There is never good enough time to do the right thing. The right thing, basically, to do the right thing, the time is now. Always remember that. Remember to do the right thing. The time is now. See, keep meditating. Let's see what else comes into my awareness. Not that I'm thinking. Thinking process is very minuscule, very minute for me. I do not pay attention to the thinking process. It's even petty that I don't need to recirculate something in my mind that I already know. You see, through thinking, you don't know anything new. You already know what you know. And what you know, you know. What you do not know, you do not know. You do not fill in the blanks by making assumptions either. Okay, you leave it aside, no matter how compelling, like a tight rubber band that may be, if you understand. No matter how compelling, like a tight rubber band may be. But you put that aside. What you know, you know. What you do not know, you do not know. You do not try to fill in the blanks. You do not try to fill in the gaps, basically. That I almost know. Somebody said to me, I almost know. I said, I almost is not good enough. You either know it or you do not know. You see, that's how we make assumptions. That's how we create drama. We become really pissed and mad and resentful within us about other people because they make assumptions. The mind tells you, and the demon starts acting within you. Mind tells you, I have a lot of experience with these things. Trust me, listen to me, and listen to me. This is how things are. You see, you don't listen to the mind, you listen to yourself. You and your mind are two separate entities. Two separate entities. You do not have to listen to your mind. You need to learn to trust yourself, okay? Otherwise, mind would drive you crazy, you see, because of the mind is such ruthless that it actually drives and leads human beings to commit suicide in the end. Because they have surrendered, they have done a creepy, unfortunately, surrender to the mind. Surrender to the mind is a creepy surrender. It's very simple, you see. It's not a switch surrender. Surrender to Brahman. Surrender to the self of awareness. Surrender to pure consciousness, basically. Surrender to surrender to Brahman. Surrender to the sense of self-awareness. Surrender to pure consciousness. Surrender to your higher self. Surrender to your own self, but not your mind. That's a switch surrender. That's the surrender to sacred. That's the surrender to divinity. That's a switch surrender. Surrender to the mind is a creepy surrender. Remember that. Surrender to the mind. Surrender to the mind is a creepy surrender. Surrender to the divinity. Surrender to the sacred is a switch surrender. Surrender to Chitta, the consciousness, the sense of self-awareness. Some of these words may be alien to you. Some of these words may be a little foreign to you because I use in the fluency of my retreats and this message that I'm trying to deliver. Yeah. Sometime I use some words from Sanskrit, you see, but since you have been watching me for quite a while and following me here for quite a while, you have the understanding of these words now. I know that. Yeah, yeah. Silent the mind. Karma cannot be avoided. If you understand, karma cannot be avoided. As soon as a situation, an unpleasant situation arises, your mind races to resolve this situation. Have you ever noticed that about yourself? As soon as an unpleasant situation arises, as soon as an unpleasant person comes in your vicinity, as soon as you hear a sound of the voice that seems very unpleasant, you know why you feel this is unpleasant? Because you do not know how to coexist. That's why you have not developed that tendency. The tendency is already always there. It's not that you have to bring it from somewhere outside of you. Everything is within you. Everything is within you. But it is cluttered by prejudice. It is cluttered by racism. It is cluttered by abstract things. They don't have any place in nature. They don't have any place in heaven. You see, it is cluttered by fear of unknown. That's why you have that feeling and you think it's natural. You want that person, no matter who that person is, you want that person to go away. And then there are situations that you find yourself caught up. and then and then there are situations you find yourself caught in that you have no control over the situation. Have you not ever caught yourself in a situation that you cannot get out of the situation? You see, you must face the situation. For instance, you are a cashier. You see, in a supermarket, or here in America we call it grocery stores. For instance, you are a cashier, a very unpleasant person came on your checkout. I do not talk to you fictional. I talk to you your own experience, and then also I tell you the solution to it. and the sound, or there is something in that person basically that you find yourself repulsive. You find yourself repulsive to this person. Have you ever not noticed? It could be this scenario, it could be any scenario, but you have no control over things here. But you have control on you. You see, that's what I'm trying to make you understand. You have control how you feel or how you are reacting to it. You have 100% control on it. It's not their fault. It's not the fault of others. It's your fault if you are feeling agitated, that you have not done anything that how you operate. So you it's not the fault of the person in the premises. It's not the fault of the entire experience. Please understand that. It's your fault that you have not done anything about your own misery, that how you perceive things. You see, it's your fault. So when you find yourself caught in a situation that you have no control on and unpleasant things are happening, you still have the control that how you feel from within. You may not have control about on your surroundings. I admit to that. As I said, I don't tell you stories or fiction, but you have 100% and pure control, absolute control. That's the word. Absolute control how you feel something within you. You see, and how you can change what you feel. It's in your perspective. If you change the perspective, everything would change automatically. Everything is happening in your mind. Don't you know that? You are not here to lead the world, pal. That's not the job. You are not here basically to lead the world, pal. You are not here to stop the suffering. You are here to stop your suffering. Once you stop your suffering, the suffering, then you can do something about the suffering in your surrounding. It would be automatically, it's a natural thing that would resonate around you, and you would do naturally something about others' suffering. But once you gotta stop your suffering. So when the karma arises, an unpleasant situation, an unpleasant so when the karma arises, an unpleasant situation, an unpleasant person in your surrounding, an unpleasant voice in your surrounding, all you can think of, I wish it could go away, or I want it to go away, or I want to make this to go away. All you can think, all your energies are invested in that. Then you become distracted, and now there is duality again in you. So you must be alert enough. And you can only be alert enough when you take your faith outside from the superstitions. That's number one. And then you can only be alert enough when you do meditation, Kriya meditation regularly every day. Then you become alert enough. Alert does not mean that you are taking tons of caffeine or drinking energy drinks or coffee. No, it does not mean that. It means you are alert from within, where you can see the movement of the thought, where when you attract a thought, where you can see, is this thought friendly or it is my enemy? Is this thought coming from sacred or is thought coming from demons? When you can see that, and that level of alertness only can be achieved through regular meditation. You see, regular meditation every day. So do not just get involved to get rid of the karma or an unpleasant experience or unpleasant thought or unpleasant being around you. It's the karma anyway. It's all karma. So do not get involved to get rid of it. You see, because if you invest all your awareness that moment in time that I want to get rid of it, it may be even prolonged, because according to the point of view of sacred, you need to transcend this karma, and the only way according to the point of view, according to the point of view of the sacred, that this is your karma and you need to transcend the karma. How do you transcend the karma? Have you not ever pondered about that? Transcending karma means when you are not in the friction which you are not in the friction, you don't have no duality in your mind. That's when, if you are, if you have got ill feelings or judgment traits in your mind while the experience is happening, or while the experience is happening or something is happening, if you have some kind of ill trait in your mind, if you are judging a person, if you are judging a voice, if you are judging a sound, nobody is being affected but you, because everything is happening within you, you see. So you are judging, and you just keep judging and judging and judging, and then your soul, your atman, becomes ill, you see. Transcending the karma means in any situation, transcending transcending the karma means in any situation, if it is unpleasant within you, you have no duality, you have no judgment, you have nothing abstract within you. If you understand, you have no judgment, you have nothing abstract within you, no trait within that you are verbalizing things and you are trying or you are pretending to be very pleasant to the person, but inside you are carrying ill feelings. If you are carrying ill feelings inside, it means that you are ill, and you if you are carrying, unfortunately, ill feelings inside, it means that you are ill and you must do something about this illness within. That's what I am saying. You see, transcending your karma when it has no effect on you. An unpleasant an unpleasant experience, an unpleasant voice, an unpleasant sound, things like that. Transcending the karma when it has no effect on you, when it does not create no duality in you. That's what transcending the karma means, you see. And you can transcend the karma when you stop judging. You can transcend the karma when you get rid of superstitions such as color has any meanings or color is making you superior than other people. You can transcend the karma when you take your faith out of words and stop hurting yourself if somebody's calling you name. You would only get hurt when you give awareness, when you agree to the meanings of a statement or somebody's verbally abusing you. You can only get hurt when you agree with the person. Otherwise, there is no way. These are the right traits, these are the right measures, these are the right tools that you have to get yourself equipped with so you can walk clearly along with the meditation. You see, these are the right tools to transcend the karma. Take your faith out of hatred, take your faith out of discrimination, take your faith out of judgments about others. Feel free like a feather. Your heart, feel free like a feather. Have no duality in you, have no friction in you. You see, just go smooth in accord with the nature. You see, learn to coexist, learn to accept others. You want to be accepted, but you are not giving or you are not doing the same thing to others. You see, learn to coexist. Learn to accept others. Learn to embrace the differences, because your surroundings can never be what you want it to be. If you understand, your surroundings can never be what you want it to be. Never. I can promise you that. But you can learn to lessen or finish the duality in you. Either way, when you learn to finish or lessen the duality in you, you go in accord with life. You go in accord with nature, if you know what I mean. And then you feel like lighter than a feather. Our goal, basically, our goal is to feel light like a feather and have no duality within us, have no friction within us, like like you are pulling on a tight rubber band. You don't have no friction within you. You have no duality within you. Then what remains is just a smoothness, you see. So rewatch this video. If you misunderstood something, you can ask me and clarify, and I would clear your confusion. Rewatch this video. If you misunderstood something, you can ask me and clarify, and I would clarify your confusion. Or if you have any questions about what I said here, you can write me. Time is an essence, so do not delay. If you want to write, go right ahead and do it now. If you have any confusions, okay, do not wait. Basically, don't be shy. You can't afford to be shy. You see, as Krishnamurti said, you don't get to lose it. It's a jungle, sir. It's a jungle. And you have to find your own way. Do not run away. Spend some time in meditation. Please do not run away. Please do not run away. Do not run away. Spend some time in meditation. Okay. So as soon as I stop telling you the story, do not take it as a story. Do practical. Spend some time in meditation. As soon as I stop telling you the story, you want to run away, basically. Or you want to move on to something new. That's not going to make any difference, zero difference. You would remain where you are. And it would not change anything as how you feel in any given moment. If you want to change anything that how you feel in a given moment, then put efforts and do meditate. Meditation is the way. Taking right steps and taking right measures is the way. That will bring happiness and joy in your life. Fear would be gone. You see, somebody asked Lord Buddha, Gautama, the Siddhartha, what you have achieved through meditation. So Buddha answered, I cannot tell you what I have achieved. I cannot tell you what I have achieved through meditation, but here is the list of what I have lost. I have lost depression. I have lost duality. I have lost double-minded. I have lost anxiety. I have lost fear, basically. I have lost anger. I have lost contemplating against my fellow humans, you see, and I have lost jealousy. I have lost resentment. Here is the list of things that I have lost. You see, that's what Lord Buddha said. That's the magnitude of his wisdom. These are the things that you lose. These are abstract negative things which keeps you restless. In heaven, there is no room for these things. You see, when all these things are gone through meditation, what remains is heaven, the most pleasant feeling that there is. Because the negative in heaven, in paradise, there is no room for duality, jealousy, anger, resentment, temperament, you see, contemplating of getting even against your fellow humans. Heaven do not have any of these negative traits. These negative traits are the sickness of human mind. You see, human gives birth to these type of negative traits. And one of them prominent negative trait is discrimination. You see, distinguish among humans on the basis of how they look, they speak, what color of their skin. That's one of the main prominent negative trait. So stop that. Take your faith out of these things and see how you have one eye for the entire creation. Have one eye for the entire everything in creation. Only have one eye. That's why third eye is so significant. That's why third eye is so prominent. You see, the third eye, it's a symbology. Once your third eye is open, it means you are on the right path, you see. have one eye for entire creation. It's not these are my people, those are your people. No, it doesn't work like that. Now you are going against with the nature and life. It would give you the runaround. It works like everything in creation is mine from my heart. You see, unity is the way. Unity, getting along, coexistence is the way. Silent the mind. Let's meditate. Let's means me and you both. Let's meditate. Let's means both of us. Spend some time in meditation and produce energy for everything and for produce meditation for everything and everyone in the creation, not just us, or not God, may I have the 50,000 pounds, or may I have the $50,000. God, please protect my family. You see, life is not happening $50,000 or only my family. Just produce this energy and send it to everybody. Send it to everyone and anything in creation who needs it. You see, selfless act. That's what we understand as karma. You know that.
Keep meditating, yeah?